Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Dennis, and if this is your first time here, this is my art channel. Today, we're going to be starting with a quick sketch drawing, but that isn't the main course for today's meal. Just a little appetizer to get the hand flowing, get some emotions out. I felt like I needed to just get a whole bunch of energy onto the page. So what better way than reliable pen and a reliable sketchbook. Nothing too spectacular there, but moving on to our main course, I'm opening up a fresh pack of Conte crayons. These are from the Conte at Paris brand, and they are, like I said, they're a crayon. Use them like a Crayola if you remember those in the school days. Although, obviously they come without any kind of wrapper, so immediately out the box you can put it on its side and get some very broad kind of marks. And I'm not going to use the white and the black, but here I'm using the neutral kind of browns, and just a quick cut to wash the hands, because they're a little bit chalky, a little bit dirty to kind of work with, especially when just pressing against the paper to get it to spread like I did here. I am using a rough kind of paper. It is the cold press paper from, I believe, Fluid is the brand here, Fluid 100. And my intention here is, this is actually the first time that I'm doing anything like this with mixing the watercolor and a non-watercolor medium, in the sense of, like, I've used watercolor pencil, drawing in sort of like a basic sketch or outline before going into the painting, but in this case I'm kind of filling out the page with texture and color with the Conte, and then I'm going in with the watercolor to add both a variety of color and the liquid, the water, to get this the pigment from the Conte to sort of lift off the page. I don't think that it's possible for it to totally dissolve. It's always going to have some sort of base texture. That's my hope with the painting, is that as it develops, it's going to have the under drawing kind of as a backing, and it turns into like the back layer of the piece, and then as I build onto it with more pigment and higher saturation as it goes on, that will stand up off of the texture and give a bit of a depth effect to the artwork. I think that's always the goal for, that's not the only goal, but it's always a goal with my artwork, is to try to give the illusion of depth. That's, I feel like, one of the great secrets for artwork in general is just being able to give the illusion that you're looking into a space. I feel like that's the whole point of perspective painting, but you don't necessarily need perspective in order to accomplish that sort of feeling or get that vibe. I really think Mark Rothko is a good inspiration for that kind of process, where he's got large color field paintings that are almost two-tone, three-tone kind of paintings, but they're like giant portals into another world, and the depth comes in from all of the variety of strokes and techniques that he was incorporating, putting layers upon layers of paint in order to create a deeper color than just, this is red on orange, this is orange on red, this is purple on blue. Like, it's not just two colors, there's so much depth because of the layering, and that is what I feel makes it an ethereal artwork, that you have physical layers that trick your eyes into feeling like they're deeper than they are. And I hope I can accomplish that with this painting. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about these kind of things. I mean, I feel like there's some things that I feel like we can all appreciate when it comes to art, when it comes to trying to make things happen. Like I feel like no matter what, we always have similar kind of tendencies with like what's it called, like Gestalt theory, where you have negative space and you have one image. If you look one way and then you flip it, and it's a whole nother, like the cup. That's one way that you look at it is a cup with the negative space is two faces. I feel like that's a iconic kind of image, but I feel like that kind of trickery, that kind of illusion is what kind of gives art its basis. That I feel like we're all following these kind of rules that trick the brain into feeling like it's seeing something more than just a splotch of ink on a page, or a bunch of, in this case, a bunch of pigment diluted in water. Yeah, I feel like this painting is now developing. Big strokes of violet, some spots of blues, some yellows. They're combining into some oranges, a couple of plum colors. I feel like the big menace of this painting, the underpainting, is still holding it a little bit, holding the painting a little hostage, in the sense of I have to deal with the marks that I've made and somehow reduce the emphasis that there is, especially with the squiggle on the right and the big amount of texture on the top left kind of quadrant there. At least for me, looking back on it, those are kind of the areas that, although are kind of not as colorful, because of the texture, lead my eye into them. So I feel like as I go into the more blendy phase of my painting here, I try to get some strokes in that either align with that squiggle on the right and give it some more connection with the rest of the painting, or to add more colors to that textured area and try to simplify what's going on there, because there is a balance that needs to be attained. And at the moment, I mean, adding this kind of vibrant red color, at the moment that balance has not been reached, and so more paint must be added, more strokes must be committed, and the painting continues. Hope you're enjoying the soothing music. I hope it's soothing. I honestly am not sure what track I picked out for that moment yet, but I hope you're enjoying it. Let me know in the comments what you think, how things are going. I feel like in the past few months, really improved the output and quality of these videos. So I'm always interested in your opinions. I read every comment, although I don't always reply to all of them, but I do appreciate every last one of you. I appreciate you for chilling with me here on this little painting adventure. Although not every painting needs to be an adventure. In this case, maybe I just wanted to get some emotion out with how various and dark some of the areas are. But now I feel like I've gone full circle with the colors, adding the blue back in and mixing with those yellows, becoming a bit of a green, and I feel like I'm accepting what this painting has turned into, which is more of a deep nature kind of scene, nature to myself, of just how my mind was feeling at the time. And I feel visually it does feel a bit like nature, in the sense of the big tree in the center, some bushes off to the left and the right, maybe some branches off in the distance, some leaves on the ground, a river flowing off into the mountains. Are these the vibes that you feel? I feel like it might be a bit too dark for that kind of vibe, but at the same time it gives me some autumn feelings with the orange and the yellows. But there's a lot of water on this page, and you might even notice as I try to hold it up for the close-up of the camera, I'm shaking it because all of the water from the bottom is starting to run up the page. And at this point I start to just hold it and decide, screw it. Let's let the water flow and run it down to the other side, to run it from the bottom to the top, kind of reverse of how I was generally working on this thing. You could see a blended line has developed across the entire canvas. But also, now that it's resting, it's all water and it's got one way to go with gravity. My drafting table is sloped, so it's gonna head right back down. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If this is your first time here, I implore you to subscribe. I release a new video every Friday. Thank you once again for watching. I hope you take care. Peace out.